welcome to the Rooster Teeth podcast panel. I am your host, Gus Sorolla. Joining me, as always, is Mr. Bernie Burns. Such a tender moment. And of course, from Achievement Hunter, the irrepressible, I don't know what that means, Mr. Jack Patillo. And finally, one half of Slow-Mo, guys. You know him, you love him, your favorite creeper, Mr. Gavin Free!
Everybody Gavin Free!
In case you couldn't hear him, he came out and he said, "Oh, I get it, I get it."
Everyone was
Immediately.
so shifty.
How long did we work on that?
That was awesome.
This dude right here, he's the one guy who was allowed to clap for you, Gavin. This one dude right there, we came out to do a rehearsal. He was the one guy who had left and gone to the bathroom.
What are the fucking odds? There's a room full of people. He pulled a Gavin Free.
Nice. We did a rehearsal. I went, Gus, yeah. Bernie, everyone goes, yeah. Jack, Gavin Free. And then I hear his girlfriend, he's in the bed.
So we got something we want to lead with, right? Something we want to talk about that's very topical.
I do want to talk about that. Okay, I'm going to stand up for this. So as you guys know, about a month ago, we launched a campaign on Indiegogo to fund a dream that we've had at Rooster Teeth for a number of years, and that is to make Rooster Teeth's first feature film, Laser Team. And I want to invite out John from Indiegogo.
Mr. John Vasquez.
John?
He got more of applause than you did, Gavin.
Deserves it. Hey, John, how are you doing? So as you guys might have heard, thanks to all of your incredible support, not only did we meet our goal in 10 hours, not only did we raise $1 million in 50 hours, not only did we raise $250,000, $250,000 during the live stream, but yesterday at about 4 o'clock, we broke the record for the #1 most funded film on Indiegogo. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, it's been an absolute privilege working on the campaign with you guys. Rooster Teeth, you've been blowing through everything. You have the most incredible fan base I've ever been around.
They're awesome.
We were so happy to sponsor the event, and we have a little gift for you, the championship belt for being the most funded film.
Wow. That is a, Gus, there you go. Our model, Gus Sorolla. You want me to put it for you? There you go. John, thank you. Thank Indiegogo for all your support. We still have about 12 hours left in the campaign, so who knows where it'll go from here. Thank you for everything you've done for us. On behalf of us and everyone, thank you to the community as well for making Laser Team a possibility. Thanks, Jack.
I want to do that Macho Man Randy Savage thing, his little cream of the crop soliloquy. I don't know if you've ever seen that video.
Let's see it.
Ooh, yeah, the cream rises to the crop, Gene.
The cream.
What, you just wish it was you, Blaine. The least muscle guy up here has a belt on, and Blaine's down there with a camera. How's it feel, nerd?
I have a really good question. Why don't I have a drink? All of you have a beer or a
Because
drink.
we plan for ourselves.
It's the podcast, fool.
What's that?
It's the podcast. Fool.
Oh, it's about. I don't have a drink though. I'd like to drink of some kind. So I'm just gonna say that in hopes that somebody hands me booze. Hey everybody, how are you guys doing? How's RTX so far?
I have a slightly different response.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm pretty tired. So I got a pedometer for the first time, for the first RTX.
Really?
Or for the first time at RTX, and I've been tracking how much I exactly walk.
Oh yeah,
during
really?
the day.
How many steps are in a false alarm fire drill? Just out of curiosity.
That added about 6,000 steps.
Added 6,000?
What was that in distance?
I'm going to roughly go off the top of my head. That was about 2.5 miles, maybe 3.
Is that from you just pacing in a circle being, you're the best person who ever lived? I don't know who you are.
That was awesome. Alcohol appeared.
Wow. I'm in the right seat.
Oh, look at this.
Hi. Great to meet you
Alcohol
as well.
materializing
Yeah,
in the hall. That's
crazy.
pretty cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. We should be assholes and just open all 6 of those while his back is turned and just start drinking them.
It's great to meet you as well, Blue Corn Lager. Nice to meet you. What are your guys' names?
Andres. I'm Frank.
Wow. I can't pronounce your name. Hey, Frank.
Thanks, guys. So on that day, on Friday, I walked over 20,000 steps.
Wow. Jesus.
It was a long day.
So is that like 4 or 5 months worth of walking for you?
It is, essentially. It was, I think it was just over 10 miles.
Christ. Can we get you a
In one day.
Segway for RTX?
What's that?
I just want to see you buzzing around the convention center in a Segway.
I thought about it. Like, I keep getting offered, so, we work with Freeman, who does a great job setting up the event and running a lot of our stuff. And every year they offer me a little electric scooter so I can get it on the floor.
And you say no?
I say no, because I want to walk it.
Somebody offers you an electric scooter, you always say yes,
Yeah.
wherever you are. I get those ones at Walmart. I just get those and cruise around in them.
Yeah, these are like the yellow ones. They're like industrial, like for zipping around warehouses and stuff.
So what is the policy? If you go to like Walmart or Target and they have the electric scooters for carts, there's no standard test for, you just can get in those things and go around, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Do you not have to have the handicap?
Some guy in the back just goes, yeah.
My foot hurts.
No, there's nobody checking that. It's not like a handicap spot or anything. You can just I don't want to walk to get Oreos. I'll just drive.
So we talked about this the other week, I think, in the podcast, but it's been starting to, please don't break that table. That's an expensive table. That's a rental.
Is this a Freeman table?
Yeah, it's a Freeman table.
Oh, you're saying nice things about him?
I want to get my deposit back. Right. The most niche, whatever, the most restrictive parking spot ever.
We're with you.
At that HEB, there you go.
Oh, thanks, dude.
Next to our studio, the handicap electric car only parking spot.
Yeah.
So it has to be
electric car?
It has to be both.
It has to be both to park in that spot.
So you can't walk and it's electric.
Right.
It's like robot parking.
Essentially.
I just realized it's the most awkward place to put a microphone.
It's only awkward when you bend over to talk.
Yeah, it is. I know I can't reach it because I tried so often in high school.
Let's get close. That's all I mean.
Plus, this is giving you a few extra inches too, isn't it?
But that is a specific space. I have to admit that there's an electric spot that's at the HEB, and I go there all the time, and I just will park in it. There's a charger and all that, but I will just park in it even though I'm charging, and I feel like I'm that's against the rules, but that's how law.
What are you on about? Why?
Because I think you're supposed to use it if you're charging it, right? I think that's the whole purpose
You
of it.
can charge. You don't have to charge, though.
Well, it's like the fucking jackasses when you go to the airport. If you ever go to an airport and you use 2 outlets at the airport, you are the devil.
Yeah.
You are.
You are evil.
Have you ever seen that person who prints out stickers that look like electrical outlets and he puts them all around airports?
That's evil.
They're like photorealistic stickers of outlets, and he just puts them on the walls like where outlets would be in airports, just to watch people go try to plug stuff in.
That guy's the devil. That guy.
That guy's horrible.
That's fucking awesome.
It's got to be right. It's got to be a decent amount of electricity that just gets used by people who think that electricity is free, right? It's got to be like everybody just plugging into the airport. That's got to be a significant amount.
Absolutely.
What do you think would be the worst sticker to troll people with? Like a defibrillator would be pretty bad, wouldn't it?
Oh my God.
A fire alarm, maybe.
If you go to like the Midwest and put like a tornado shelter sticker somewhere, and it's in a mobile home.
That's made out of glass. Goes like a greenhouse. Yeah, I would think that would be bad. Maybe like a fire exit.
Shed with parachutes on it. Just so lift it away.
Yeah, it's funny how you can just, I guess, troll people like that with just seemingly innocuous things just placed in a public scenario. It just totally changes the context. Like at home, you don't give a fuck about your power plugs. I guarantee you there are plugs in your house you've never used.
There's ones in mine that I don't even know how they work or don't work. I mean, it's just like I plug in, it's like this one doesn't work. I do no further investigation of that. It's just like, oh, that's just a dead electrical outlet in my wall. No big whoop.
I moved into a new place and I discovered a pet peeve.
Wow, I'm amazed. You got annoyed by something.
I have a light switch that will not work unless another switch down the hall is on.
How do you even design that?
Why the fuck is this like
No,
that?
that's a feature so you can turn the light on in either room.
But both sides should be able to toggle it on and off independent of one being on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't do that.
That's my fucking point.
Just put some tape on it or something.
So then essentially one of them always has to be on, so then you only can toggle it from the other side. It's just a pain in the ass.
Is it like the master switch that's in hotel rooms now where you have to put your room key in to, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I did.
That's the cheapest thing ever.
You don't have to put your room key in there. You can jam a bit of paper in there.
You can just snap the cover off the wall and hardwire it yourself.
Life hack.
Can you imagine if your house was like that? Like when you were home, you had to take your house key and plug it into your thermostat to make your air conditioner turn on?
I could. My house is so freaking old. It seems like I have to do that with a lot of different things.
At least you have a house.
Oh, Jack, yeah, well, tell what happened.
So we moved our office from South Austin to North Austin, even though we said we'd never moved to North Austin, but whatever.
Who actually said that, by the way?
Jack immediately made this my fucking problem.
Did you
immediately?
It was someone said it. It was either you or Matt. Someone said we would never go north of the river. Whatever. Anyway.
I had to drive to Buda for 4 fucking years.
I'm just
I
saying.
don't want to hear anyone complain.
I'm just saying. Anyway, so I sold my house in South Austin, and I was under contract of a house up in North Austin, closer to the office.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. It went really well. So we were closing on a Wednesday. That's where you sign the final paperwork, get the keys, everything. But on the Sunday beforehand, we were doing our final walkthrough. So the whole house was empty. It was supposed to be like, this is what it'll be when you get the keys. So we walk into the house, everything looks okay, and there's like a little sunroom in the back. We go back there, and there's a puddle of dirty water up against the house, like up against the wall. And and Katie immediately is like, I smell mold. And it's like, oh God. So we had a mold guy come out the next day, take a look at it, peel back the baseboard, and it was just black. It's just covered in mold. And so the day before closing, we pulled the contract. So yeah. So I'm crashing my parents right now. Yay!
Oh, really? Wait.
As newlyweds.
I have a potential solution.
What's that?
Bernie had no beer, and he asked for beer, and it showed up.
Does anybody have
You
a
have
house?
no house.
I'm looking for a 4-3 with about 2,000 square feet.
If any of you have that in your pocket or your bag.
Yeah. Anyone? Keys?
Yeah, does anybody have a spare bedroom that they could loan to a guy who complains about everything on the fucking planet? Because that would be
Gus
Jack.
has a place to live.
Preferably no mold.
Yeah, no mold, please.
So it's mold. That'll do you in, right?
It can, yeah. If it gets too bad, it can. So.
Kevin's there wondering if his house has mold.
Yeah. Did you ever get yours checked?
But I don't know.
That's like a thing in this area. If you have water damage in your house, there are types of mold. I don't know how prevalent it is, but I know it's, at least here in Central Texas, that is toxic enough that it will kill you.
Yeah, it can
Can't you
do
just-
some serious damage.
Spray some Glade or something?
No.
Just stop. Just mold. Just stop.
Just don't.
But apparently it's like also so bad that you can't clean it with bleach. It's like you have to have like a special mold removal process.
The mold inspector is like, because of the amount on there, you have to have like an actual specialist come in. And he's like, bare minimum, that's going to be about $10,000. Oh. And I was like, yep. And he's like, or they can tear the whole thing down and just, try to do something. Like, no.
What, the whole house?
Oh, no, the whole, like the wall it's on. It's like a sunroom, so it's the outside, like patio area that was like closed in.
What is a sunroom? Like a conservatory? Is that the same thing?
You're all about to get mad because he just asked a question you answered, and he's going to tell you why you're wrong.
It would be great if you had a conservatory if you were ever playing like a real life game of Clue. Don't ever invite Colonel Mustard to visit your house.
Correct me wrong. A sunroom is where you have like solar glass, and you can go. There's a thing about a solarium. It's like a sunroom. It's exposed to the outside with glass. A conservatory, as far as I know, is a music room. Isn't that what it is?
What?
Is that, you tell me. You asked what a conservatory is. What's a conservatory?
It's like a room made of glass at the back.
And that's what a conservatory is.
In England, that's what it is. Right, Dan? Cheers, Dan.
Dan, by the way, for those who can't hear, said, yeah, fucking right. Very enthusiastic answer.
I don't like that Gavin has someone to agree with him off camera.
I like the idea of Dan the man fucking hanging out in a conservatory.
Just drinking a beer with a piano.
Don't bug me, I'm luxuriating.
I think you got something coming up here.
So, anyway.
Oh, hey. Ooh. Wow. You're awesome. It's Marcy, everybody.
So that's one of the more like uncomfortable aspects of RTX is since we're staff members, we get assigned people that help us. My assistant's over there. Her name's Michelle. Thank you, Michelle.
Okay, there's Tim. What's up, Tim? He's awesome.
My one's called Charles, and he's British.
I always feel guilty asking for anything.
Yeah, I feel like such a knob.
Because we work in a company where nobody helps anybody else 360 days a year.
Yeah, like I'll be walking, outside on the dock or something, and Michelle will just like hand me a bottle of water. Like, here you go. Like, oh, yeah, I did need that. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's like, that's really nice. Working at Rooster Teeth, you expect if someone does something nice, it's a prank.
Right. Marcy just handed me my beer. My initial reaction was, what's in this?
Yeah. Like, what is this nice? What is this emotion I'm feeling? Sympathy?
Gratitude? It's gratitude.
So it's always unusual to have someone walking with you who's so helpful.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
cheery.
No, the Guardians have been kicking ass this year, as always, and it's amazing. Even like on Friday when everyone had to get out, that was awesome. They took care of it. And, yeah, and like, it seems like every year it gets better and better and better, and I think people are more like willing to kind of like, give you space. Like if you have to get somewhere and you feel bad because you can't stop, take photos or whatever, people understand. It's like we have places we have to be, and so for the most part, everyone's been really fantastic.
Might be the worst offender about that. I mean, my Guardians hate me. I never have the same one year after year. They're like, I just stop and block exits and just hang out and chit chat and everything. They're like, you're 20 minutes late for your panel at this point.
I try and sneak away from my Guardian quite a lot. I'll just pop on a mask and walk around, and then I'll be gone for like 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden there'll be 5 Guardians behind me. Like, you walked off again, didn't you? Like, yeah.
I almost
You're
leave,
like a lost child.
I like to see how far I can get. Not very far.
Yeah, I frequently leave Michelle behind. Like we were coming up here and we started walking out, and Jack's like, "Oh, let me tell my PA I'm leaving." Like, "Oh, right," and they do that.
Just gonna wander away.
I just wander away.
Bye.
Not even thinking about it.
Yeah, have you had a good RTX, Gus?
I evacuated the building. Does that count?
So is that good or bad? I don't know.
How was that?
You telling everyone to get out sounds like something you might enjoy, actually.
That was really stressful. There was weird timing. I ran into Jack right before that happened.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And I knew what was about to happen, that we were about to have to take care of this. And Jack says, "Hey, you have any fires you're dealing with?" I said, "One."
No, he says one, and then he goes and he leaves for a second, and then he comes back, or he comes back, and his phone starts beeping. He goes, "I have to take this." Left again, and then the alarms went off, and he walked back. He goes, "We have to leave." I was like, "Oh shit, okay."
I missed all of that. I had no idea.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Where were you?
I went home.
The bells go off and Gavin goes home.
You were home before that?
No, I left at like 5. What time did that happen?
That must be nice. 6?
I went up for 6?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Punched out.
What's
If
that
you're gonna have that problem, though, it happened at a good time. You never would wish for something like that to happen, but it happened at like 15 minutes after the hall closed and everything. And they had to move some events, but everybody adjusted pretty well, I think.
Yeah,
You guys have a good time? Is everything okay with that?
Yeah, we just had to reschedule 2 of the evening events, but we rescheduled them, and hopefully people still were able to make it out for them.
Yeah.
What a jackass, whoever did that.
Did you do any of the evening events, Gus? Did you check out anything?
No, I have not had the chance to do that. No.
I went to the Geeks Who Drink event last night. That was a lot of fun. Anybody out there? Yeah. So Team Beard, we won.
Did you really?
You won. My team actually won the whole event.
Out of how many teams?
Out of 70 teams. Yeah, so it was amazing. Yeah,
That's a big crowd. So teams are 6 people, right?
Yeah,
so
teams
that's
are 6 people.
Over
Didn't
400 people.
Like help organize it.
Well, I set it up 2
You're
years
not going
ago.
to win your own event.
No, I had nothing to do with the questions or anything. But I helped bring it here a couple of years ago. I love it. I love trivia and stuff like that. And my friends.
I'm with Gavin.
Yeah, don't win
You
that.
can't win an event you organize.
Oh, no, I had my friends come down from Dallas, and they were hanging. They love that kind of stuff too. So I was like, let's make a team. And so we made a team, and the winner is me.
Did you win money?
No. They
You win a trophy?
No, they gave us. They actually gave us Rooster Teeth flags.
You mean you?
No, Geeks Who Drink. Geeks Who Drink gave it to us.
They gave you a flag from your own company.
Yeah, and I gave it away. I gave it to a fan.
I say,
so.
did you keep the
No, I
flag?
didn't keep the flag. I gave it away. So, anyway, it was awesome. I had a lot of fun.
I'm going to win the podcast.
I'm gonna win the drawing for the tour for Laser Team. I'm gonna visit you guys for a day. See how everything is.
Have you told the story about you getting a call from El Rey Network?
No.
You should tell that story. It's a funny story.
Oh, yeah, it's like one of those cases of small world. They're based right where we work, right?
Yeah, the El Rey Network is Robert Rodriguez's TV network, and they're in the Austin studios where we're based now.
Yeah. The guy wanted me to give him a ring because he wanted to collaborate on a project, a slow-mo project. And he was like, whereabouts in England are you based? I was like, I'm actually in Austin. He's like, Jesus, really? And I was like, yeah, I'm in stage 5. I'm like 20 feet from where you work. This is really weird. It's like complete coincidence.
Yeah, we've had a lot of those crazy coincidences. I mean, it's like when we first met Meg for the first time, it was so weird that we met her, and I find out she's from Austin because I knew Meg from SourceFed, and then I come to find out that the street she grew up on was like a block away from one of our old offices.
Yeah.
She was there. It was like, is that really true? She goes, oh yeah. She goes, before I left Austin, I used to see you guys. Like, no, she used to live like a block away from one of the older offices. Crazy coincidence.
It was weird to think that I was that close to her before ever meeting her.
Oh, it is weird.
Oh, very nice.
Stop. Down.
So she cosplayed as you, right?
Yeah, she was Vav. It was top. And Ashley did X-Ray.
Yeah, she did.
pretty cool.
She
They
played.
look way better than Ray and I.
Yeah, I agree.
Ashley should have done Horse Puncher.
What's that?
Ashley should have been the Horse Puncher.
No, because it was weird enough having sex with her dressed as Ray. I think it would have
You did ask for that, right?
been even weirder.
I was about to ask Gavin how it was like having sex with himself. See, the funny thing is there was no denial. There was just an embarrassed smirk and laughter.
Yeah.
So let me ask,
That's okay. I don't feel.
were you top?
Was that too far?
No, I'm just, keep asking questions. Like,
I don't feel guilty about mine because Ray already fucked me over Strangerhood too. So.
So
You're cheering now. Wait till it comes out.
if you cheered, you have to watch.
What's you're doing like a Stranger Hood 2? Is it a miniseries?
No.
What's it gonna
I'm not doing it. Ray's doing it.
he plays every character, right?
What's that?
Is he going to play every character?
He's gonna write. Yeah, whatever characters he writes for himself and directs for himself, he can play. Sure.
Wouldn't
He might edit out some of the characters that he plays and writes and directs, but that's up to him. As the writer, director, editor, actor.
do? You were so pissed about this.
That's awesome. No, now I'm happy. This is the happy version of me. This has been a 3-year play with this fucking thing.
when you developed that
Here's the
stretch
clue.
goal,
There's not even a Laser Team movie. It's just, it was all just a setup for this.
when you developed that stretch goal, you came up to me and you said, we're going to do this, 2.25 million. We'll never hit that, right?
No, what it was I went to everybody and talked to everybody first because I needed a wall between me and Matt. Because Matt was like, just put a way out like where, it's like we won't do it. And I was like, okay. And then we announced on the live stream when I thought we had a really good shot at getting it based on the momentum of it. And then I was like, I texted Matt, I go, hey, I'm going to announce this if we break number 1, we'll do Stranger Hood Season 2. He goes, no, don't do that. And I was like, okay. And I said, when I saw the text message, there's a way, Gavin knows this, there's a way you can read a text message to where it doesn't show as read. And I did it that way. Then I announced it. And then I wrote back Matt right afterwards, oh, I didn't see this. Oops.
And he'll never find out now.
It's okay, we crossed the goal.
Yeah, if you have read receipts on and the message is short enough to display as an alert, and you don't actually open the message,
You've never read it.
Yeah.
it's cheeky.
Jesus Christ. Why would you need to know all this stuff? Who are you hiding from?
Oh, you know, everyone.
Every person ever. Yeah, but I have to admit though, and you guys should all do it too, Gavin and I are the only people I know that leave on read receipts on our iPhone messages.
Ellen does it too.
Good. Everyone should do it. Why don't we quit?
No.
Nah.
Why?
What's the point? I don't want people knowing when I read it.
Why?
Why do I want them knowing?
Because then you don't have to respond and people at least know you saw it.
No, people need to respond. That's the jackass move. So I have a bone to pick with you.
Go ahead.
During the evacuation on Friday, you left your laptop here.
I did. I didn't leave my laptop
me
like,
finish.
here's a grand idea. I'm going to fucking pull a false alarm so I have to go up one floor to get my goddamn
Did you
laptop.
take your laptop?
I was in the
You
hall.
left your laptop
I
here then.
evacuated in a
Don't
safe
cut
manner.
hairs with, don't split hairs with me, Burns. The laptop was here.
Yes.
So then your PA is panicking because you're looking for it. I'm like, don't worry. I was able to get into the building. I said, I have to go take care of some stuff in the building. I'll make sure I grab it on my way out.
Your fault.
And then I tell you I have it. And then you send me a text saying, can I come meet you so I can get it? And I said, don't worry. I'm getting in my car right now. Where are you at? Are you at your house? Red.
Oh.
No reply.
That's not the way it's done.
And then I said,
I'm going to check right now. I got timestamps.
and then I said, okay, I'm driving to your house. Red.
You read that one as well?
No reply.
Gus.
I was like, in the car, I was like, if that asshole's not at home, I'm gonna kick it in the fucking street and say it's out in the street in front of your house. You looking for this conversation?
Yeah, he's ready.
10:03 p.m. About to get in car. Want me to take it to you? Please, I would really appreciate that. At house? That was 10:03. Then 5 minutes later, I am driving to your house. I'm embarrassed to admit, here's probably how that went. I'm about to get in a car. Do you want me to take it with you? Oh, it's like, that's great, he has it. Yeah, please, I would really appreciate that. At your house? Yeah. I probably said yes out loud to my phone. That's probably the way that went.
I was like, that asshole is not at home. He's somewhere else.
And the worst part about it was I met you out front on the porch with Joe the cat.
Yeah, and I was like,
And because Gus got out, he's like, he dealt with the fire alarm and all that stuff, and he got out, he's like, is it good? I'm just glad this is done. Here, and then he sees Joe and he goes, yeah, you.
I think I said, we meet again, my nemesis, flea bag.
That cat is so flea-ridden at this point.
And Joe, of course, like an asshole, is like this in your arms. I was like, he's so goddamn comfortable.
Fleas are disgusting.
They're pretty
These
gross.
suck.
The Ramseys had a dog once called Poppins.
That was a shithead dog.
It was a bitey
damn
dog.
it. Ugh.
It was so full of fleas. I went sat next to it on the couch. It did this like 3 times. 9 fleas fell out onto the couch and all jumped back into him. They were like, oh, what happened? Whoop, straight back in.
Can you
know
imagine?
they could do that?
Can you imagine that if something happened right now? We're all sitting here. You get like scooped up into space. Like, oh wait, what? Oh, let's go back to Earth. Boom. Just like immediately jump
That's
back on.
probably the scale equivalent, right? They're tiny.
Listen, this is not a commentary on anybody here. You're all lovely people. I made a huge mistake. I read before RTX started, I read that there's been an increase in the incidence of head lice based on selfies, where people put their heads together and they take a photo together. It's rampant among school kids.
I've taken a lot of selfies.
I've taken a lot of selfies.
Yeah,
I've taken a lot
so have
too.
I. So I was like, I have to admit, I thought about that you're all lovely people, except for those of you who know who you are. You're kind of gross. Sorry you have to hear this way. But no, everything was great, and it was like, but I thought about it every single time. I was like, just that article popped in my head of like the incidence of head lice.
I don't know what people are going to do, because a lot of people who don't like shaking hands will just go for the fist bump. I guess people are just going to have to start wearing hairnets for selfies.
Nah, they won't do that. Where's all these shaved heads? This is how
Just carry around a hairnet with
Yeah.
you. Like,
Hold on one
oh,
sec.
take a photo. Hang on.
I guess a net wouldn't work. They just go through the holes. You have to be a shower cap.
But I need one for my beard too.
Oh, Jesus.
Can you get beard lice?
I don't know.
I would imagine.
I know you get beard nets though. I've
I
seen
bet
it before.
you are riddled with beard lice.
That's clean, baby. I wash it every day.
That's crazy. Here, can I read this thing?
Oh, yeah, sure.
I gotta read these. This is a podcast. I do have to read an ad for you.
Yeah. Ad reads. Woo!
Want to remind everyone, this episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. The big razor companies think you're stupid.
Dollar
Every
Shave
year,
Club right after the beard lice comment. That's awesome.
what's the solution to beard lice? Shave that filthy beard off. Every year, they roll out some ridiculous shave technology gimmick and expect us to shell out big bucks for it. Do you really need a razor with a vibrating handle, roller pivot ball, and a laser pointer? Well, I know I don't. We were shaving just fine before any of that junk, and you definitely don't need to spend your hard-earned cash on it. If you're sick of being treated like a chump, join the hundreds of thousands of smarter people who've joined DollarShaveClub.com. Dollar Shave Club delivers the best blades and grooming supplies for just a few bucks a month. Their blades are better than the big shave companies for a fraction of the price. You get the best shave of your life with a 4X razor. You gotta try it. Rooster Teeth viewers can get started now at DollarShaveClub.com/roosterteeth. If you're already a member, check out their new Dr. Carver's post-shave lotion. Oh, I didn't even know about that. That's a new one.
Post-shave lotion.
It's the perfect way to make peace with your face after disruptive active shaving. Stop getting ripped off by the big shave companies. Join DollarShaveClub.com/roosterteeth. That's DollarShaveClub.com/roosterteeth. We have lost Bernie.
How come Dollar Shave Club isn't at RTX? Shaving all these lovely people. Shaving their faces and their legs.
Bernie's like when grandpa goes crazy and walks away from the family. That's what's going on right now.
Confused. It's time for me to go shave.
Can you hand me one of those St. Arnold's?
I'm almost as old as Joel. Almost. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Whoa, whoa. It's got weird fast. Hey, that was the second weirdest thing that's happened to me all week, besides banging Ashley looking like Ray. Hey. Did I ever tell the story about Ashley getting drunk at New Year's? Gavin, did I ever tell that story?
No, go for it.
That's the weirdest segue ever.
Was this the first time you guys went out?
Speaking of things that are shaved.
Wait, yeah.
She shaves her legs. What's wrong with you people?
Is this the first time her roommates maybe heard you fighting with her while you're trying to get her out of her clothes?
Is Ashley in here? Ashley, you want to come tell me the story? She's not here? Great, let's tell the story. All right. Ashley, one time we were at New Year's. We were with you guys.
Vegas.
We were in Vegas, and we got really drunk. And Ashley and I had been dating, I think probably about 4 or 5 months at that point. So we've been dating a while. We were well established as a couple.
We were getting bevved up.
We got really drunk. And Ashley got probably a little too drunk. She definitely got a little too drunk. That'll help explain this story in a second. So we go back to the hotel, and we were getting amorous, but she was just, it was 4 in the morning when we called it quits? So Ashley and I went back to our hotel room, and we were getting amorous, but she was just out of it. She was dead tired, and she was drunk, and she's like, ugh. And I was like, okay, good night, baby. And she was like, no, it's New Year's special. We should do stuff. She was drunk doing this sexy thing, like that. I was like, oh no, baby. I said, you're really drunk. And I said, you're tired. I go, no big deal. She goes, no, but it's New Year's special. And she was waking up like that. And I said, Ashley, no. And she goes, no, and does the sexy shimmy again. She goes, listen, I'm about to pass out, but after I pass out, just do whatever you want to.
Jesus. Wow.
I said, Ashley! She was really drunk. I said, you are fucking kidding me, Ashley. Do not say something like that. And after she said that, she's about to pass out. She had a moment of clarity. She wakes up and she goes, nothing new. So,
You know you've got to keep her.
what's that?
You know you've got to keep her.
So, nothing new has become the rallying cry of our relationship.
So
Until it ended 5 seconds ago.
That might be the most personal story you've ever told.
I don't think so, is it?
Apart from you jizzing yourself on the plane.
I would say that was literally just personal about me. Just me and myself and Jeff's hand that I was holding.
What's the most personal story you've ever told? The most personal story.
I know what Jack's is, but we won't bring it up because he gets mad.
Thank you.
I don't know. What do you think my most personal story is? I talk about just about anything.
You tried to, you tried and shag in an aquarium or something.
Oh, right.
Oh, no, it was a...
Right, at the planetarium in New Zealand, we wanted to have public sex, but the planetarium in New Zealand...
Someone behind the couch just went, ugh! Someone just moaned behind the stage.
It turns out planetariums in New Zealand don't have pre-recorded audio. It's just a dude with a chair sitting there looking at you.
It's like electrical, right?
Yeah, I think when I told the story on the podcast, I said that we were just going to try to take a nap in the planetarium.
Yeah.
We were really trying to bone.
So did you
And
think of it as...
Esther got mad at me for not saying that we were trying to bone.
Did you think it would be like you lie down and look at the ceiling kind of
I think
thing?
it would be empty
Yeah.
and just like a dark place. Birdie's looking for the person who was grossed out by me boning in a
That's everyone on
planetarium
this side.
in another country.
You know, a while ago you had the little 3D printout from Captured Dimensions.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
did that thing of you. Hey!
And she's got a little mini version. Bring that up here.
Do you think they'd have an issue with, like, knob out? Because Dan really wanted to poke his knob out of his jeans, but he was too scared to ask him if
I'm
they
sure
would
they'd
let
be
him do it.
fine with
Dan.
it. Here, yeah.
I don't think that would be fine with it.
No, that's cool. Let
me
me
go ahead and
guess.
say
You
no.
can hold it. And
It's like a super tiny version.
Aw, little cute.
This is a pre-painted version.
I'd be worried about a gust that small. I worry the anger would scale and like concentrate like a black hole of social anxiety and misery in its life. Become like a horrible voodoo doll in my house.
Wait, what's your most personal story? You're the one asking these questions.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I'd probably be shitting myself 5 times.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Also, your ball surgery, I guess, but you've been talking about that for so long. That's not like a new
Yeah, that
thing.
happened years before I was on the podcast.
Yeah.
And Jack, what would you say your most personal story is where you're not
We'll keep it
banging a
quiet.
fleshlight?
We'll keep it quiet. So, my favorite thing on Twitter is the block function. There's a few words you can just say to me, and without saying anything else, I'll just immediately block you. And that's one of them.
Yeah.
I don't want to see your Twitter feed right now.
Wait.
Got a lot of blocking to do.
Let me test this.
Challenge accepted.
You've unfollowed me. You never blocked me, I don't think.
No, I never blocked you. I love Jack on Twitter because I'll follow and unfollow Jack all the time.
Yeah.
It's like I get fed up with stuff, unfollow. Hey, why didn't I see Jack stuff anymore? Follow. It's like it's just like I just cycle back and forth constantly.
I would
Are you
admit,
on an upswing right now or downswing?
I'm still following you.
Okay, good. Haven't ruined that yet.
I would imagine I lost a lot of followers on Twitter this week just because I was tweeting like about Indiegogo and RTX. Like that's it, nonstop. That was the only thing I was tweeting about.
Yeah.
And I have to admit that when anybody tweets about one thing consistently, that's the thing I'm most likely to unfollow them about.
Yeah.
Yeah. It used to be the like couples on Twitter used to drive me crazy. That doesn't drive me crazy very much.
The one thing that
anymore.
drives me nuts on Twitter is when people retweet Follow Fridays of themselves. Like when someone says, "Oh, Follow Friday," and they retweet that, it's like, wait, what?
They want all of their followers to follow them.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of, I don't know, egotistical.
It's like all the compliment retweeting.
Yeah.
It's a little weird sometimes.
Yeah, like, oh, you're so friendly. Oh, look what these people think of me. It's like,
Yeah.
nah.
I felt a little guilty the other day. I think pre-RTX, I retweeted like 6 selfies I took with people in a row.
I like that though. Like, it's funny because everyone assumes you're just like an evil, grumpy old man, but you actually go and take photos with everybody.
I'll do it. Anyone?
Yeah, you give hugs and you're smiling. It's like,
As
oh.
long as I'm not, like you said at the event, as long as I'm not like in a hurry trying to get somewhere.
Dude, this year more than any other RTX ever, I've actually had a chance to talk to you and like drink a beer with you. It's amazing. Usually you're running around like your head's on fire.
Just in
So-
general, RTX, forget it. When do you ever sit around and talk with Gus and drink a beer with Gus? When does that ever happen?
RTX.
RTX or Australia.
Hey, while we're talking about Twitter and apps, stuff like that, mind if we give a quick nod to somebody?
I have no idea what he's doing.
No, this is the RTX app, which if you guys have used the RTX app all week long,
Yeah.
want to stand up and say hello? This is Barbara's dad. We're all going to call him Mr. Dunkelman. Hi. Larry! And
He's the Dunkel man.
well, I've been taking selfies all week. But he made the app. He spent a lot of time making it. Thank you so much for making the app. It was really awesome. We've all used it all week. So, Barbara is not here right now. She's on the Internet Box podcast. You guys didn't go to that one?
Right.
Good call.
Made the right decision.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. I wouldn't go to the whatever podcast panel my daughter was on either. Never know. All right. Since we have a little bit of a lull.
Lol.
Do you guys want to play Gavin or Google? All right. Do we have the ability to actually use this thing?
Let's
Wait,
find
what
out.
is this thing?
This is you guys have buzzers for
Oh,
Gavin or
you're
Google.
shitting me?
Oh, really?
Oh, that is awesome.
I'll get out of the way.
All right, I have my answers right here. Let me make sure I load them up before I start this. Okay. So, for those of you who are not familiar, the way we play Gavin or Google is I take a 2 to 4 word phrase, I feed it into the popular search engine Google, and I get the dumbest auto return I possibly can for searches made by people all over the world. I take that same 2 to 4 word phrase and I give it to Mr. Young, Gavin Free. We get the dumbest possible phrase coming back out of Gavin, and then we try to figure it out together. Who said it? Gavin or Google? You guys know the theme song? Sing along with me. Gavin or Google? Google or Gavin? Which one said it? Let's find out.
I'm feeling lucky.
Who would ever thought just saying those words would get an audience of 4,000 people to scream and cheer? I'm feeling lucky. And whoosh. There you
Looks
go.
like
Somebody already has a point.
Somebody already has a point.
Give yourself a point.
Yeah, give us
Buzz
a
it.
point.
Point.
What is this thing?
Hey, correct answer. There we go. Awesome. It's got sound effects and
If
everything.
you weren't at the broadcast panel this morning, and I know you weren't because there weren't very many people there, it was really early.
Oh, okay.
One of the things we mentioned at the broadcast panel was that as part of one of our new shows in the broadcast division, Rooster, we're working on a game show. This is a unit we'll be using for that game show. These graphics are not our final graphics. These are like shitty temporary ones. That's fine.
No, it isn't.
That's fine. So these are like shitty temporary graphics.
So we have 3 questions.
Yeah, that's right. So I got another bone to pick with you.
What?
Last week on the podcast, I got up to measure the couch. You got up, got in my seat. You left your beer on my side table.
Did you drink my beer?
Yes. When I got back, I thought I finished this beer. I drank it, and people were tweeting me, "You're drinking Gavin's beer."
Well, I have a bone to pick with you prick. You lied about the couch.
I did lie about the couch.
The new couch is longer than the old couch.
What?
I was right.
That was the whole point.
But
Yeah, he was lying.
By 2 inches.
It's what?
But that was a love seat like this.
The,
like
the new couch is 2 inches wider than the old couch.
What?
He lied. He made me look like a right mug.
That is the whole reason why we got it. They put dimensions on the website when you order it. That's math. You love math. How'd you fuck it up?
Oops. Gavin or Google, Google or Gavin. Which one said it?
That sucks a butt. All right, we're gonna play Gavin or Google.
I gotta say, these phrases you gave me this week were pretty damn generic. Well, like sometimes they like head in a specific direction. One of them this week was, "Is there?" That could be anything.
Why don't we start with is there?
Is there?
We typed into Google, is there? And we also told Gavin to complete a question that begins with is there. One of them, either Gavin or Google, said, okay. Once I read the second response, whoever buzzes in first and then answers, that's how we'll do our scoring. One of them, either Gavin or Google, said, is there a right way to wipe? Is there a right way to wipe?
Windows?
The other one, get ready guys, either Gavin or Google said, is there an Old Zealand?
Ah, damn it.
Gus.
Old Zealand is Gavin.
Gus is incorrect.
I was going to say it.
So do I hit N?
And
Really?
You lost
I lost the point. The rules have changed.
I love the way this works, so dumb.
All right, so if I don't answer anything, I can win this thing. This is great. I like it. Go ahead, Gus. Enjoy.
So Jack is winning -1 to 0 at this point. And actually, that is your correct score, as weird as that is now. It somehow figured out what we were trying to do. Jack has 1 point, and you have 0 points. So that's what it works.
Sure.
Okay, next phrase we piped in is... which one should I do first? All right, we'll do why can't a dog?
Hold on, real fast, before you get there.
God damn it! I was hoping I'd get away with it. God.
How do you wipe?
I realized when I was about 25 that nobody really...
25!
No, shut up! Shut up! I realized about 25 years old that nobody really taught me how to wipe my ass. I just like get the paper and wipe my ass. But I thought, like, what's the most efficient way to do it? So I practiced with like different strokes. So now,
Practiced? How do you practice?
well, I just changed the way I do it. Like usually I just be like wipe, wipe, wipe until it's done.
Yeah, then use the word experiment. Don't say practice.
Yeah, practice makes it sound. Oh, sorry, say I'm experimenting with my asshole.
Yeah, that seems more appropriate for you, actually.
So I was just feeling like, is there a way, for example, if you do one downward wipe followed by upward wipes, is that more efficient?
Is it?
Well, I don't know. I'm just.
You're the expert.
You said you experimented.
Yeah, I didn't know the results were
practice,
inconclusive.
So, do you...
Does anyone else do like different strokes? Based
You don't
on...
have
Yes.
to answer this
Oh, shit,
question.
Dan's got his hand up.
Dan! It's Dan, he's agreeing with me. Big.
Wait, so Dan, you alternate? You
How
go
do you
back
wipe
and
your
forth?
ass?
Well, sometimes you get too much if you just go in one direction. So you
Oh
have to
my
go the other
Lord.
direction first and then finish it off.
No!
Cheers, Dan.
So when you grab toilet paper, do you bunch it up or do you fold it?
I do like a roll. And
roll.
then I like do it like a sausage across.
What? Hey, I just want to say, if anybody wants to pull a fire alarm, now would be a great time to do that.
So you're saying you rub a sausage up your asshole?
Well, you basically like the first wipe is always the smeariest. So you want to.
Why,
And then.
why are you grossed out? You all have experienced this.
Yeah, so I figured if you flick it downwards first, you're going to smear less up your ass. You're all going to try it. And next one.
Next question.
All right, the next one is, why can't a dog? Why can't a dog?
A dog.
Either Gavin or Google said, why can't a dog just relax when the doorbell rings?
That's Gavin. I want to hear the next one.
All right, you're committed. And then the other one was, why can't a dog and cat breed?
Oh, I think you may have fucked up.
No, I didn't. Fuck that. There's no way Gavin's that dumb. Gavin, I'm going to give you credit. There's no way you said that.
That's not dumb.
No, the person who asked it knew they couldn't. They just want to know why they can't breed. Why can't you get a cog or a dat?
All right, I'm sticking with that. I'm fine.
Jack committed to why can't a dog calm down when the doorbell rings? Then we're about to find out the answer from our quizmaster.
Jack is correct.
Yes. I'm willing to bet that's because you now have a dog, right?
Yeah.
And you're
It
probably
goes
sick of that
mental.
dog. Yeah,
It goes
yeah.
ape. So even if a doorbell rings on the TV, just chill out. Why did a dog evolve to freak out at that one sound?
Well, it's what they're used to. Like my dogs, I've never had a doorbell. I just moved it, like I keep talking about, I just moved. I have a doorbell now in my new place, so I decided to do an experiment. I walked outside, went away for a few minutes, came back, and they'll freak out if someone knocks at the door. I rang the doorbell, nothing.
Really?
Nothing. They didn't even acknowledge it.
That's interesting. It'd be interesting to take a big speaker with the doorbell speaker and put it in like a park and see which dogs go mental.
So we talked about trolling.
and then you'd be able to see who didn't have a doorbell. All the dogs that just sat there like, I don't know what that was. I've never heard that in my life.
Gavin, I just imagine you buying like an ice cream truck, rolling up to the dog park, and you're just like, ding dong. And all the dogs are like, fuck these balls, what was that?
It'll be awesome.
They'll be like, where the fuck is the door?
Think about that. A dog is outside and he hears a doorbell. It's like the best day ever for a dog. All right. Well, Gus, you have unfortunately been mathematically eliminated, but I think we all want to hear the last question, right? Do we want to?
Oh, yeah.
You can still try to answer, Gus. Although I want to remind you, you are mathematically eliminated.
Oh,
which sounds
Best kind
good.
of eliminated.
What's that?
That's the best kind of eliminated.
For Gus, it is the best kind. All right. How do I? Oh, Jesus.
How do I?
How do I? How do I sometimes pee in two directions? Guys.
Gavin.
What's the next one? What's the next one?
Oh, I didn't get my answer. Hey, just got it right. It's actually better to not know. It's better to know that this comes from Google. This is one of my favorite Google searches ever. How do I? This was in the top 3. How do I Google something?
Wow.
God damn it. How dumb is the fucking world? How do I Google something? I wonder what the answer was.
You can look it up. Look it up on your phone.
I hope it sends you to let me Google this for you. All right, Gavin.
Sends you to Bing.
Yeah.
Why do you pee in 2 directions sometimes? Well, how does that happen?
Do you not ever have a forked piss? Or
A forked piss?
like you
Thanks, dude. You saved me.
you wake up in the morning and your knob hasn't been used in a good 12 hours or so, and it's kind of sealed.
Dan once again is agreeing with you.
Wait. I think I know where this is coming from. I think I know where this is going. Dan, I'm going to make this a little uncomfortable for you. Circumcised or uncircumcised? There you go. That's what it is.
Dan,
Uncircumcised?
Dan, come up here and tell your story about how you.
is going on?
Dan the man, everybody.
Dan the man.
Why am I getting this much of a cheer for having a forked piss? I don't know, but...
Gotta get in the middle.
Oh, right, yeah,
Where the lights and the cameras are.
oh, fuck, jeez. Like, I don't know if...
It's commencement.
Occasionally, you get a forked piss. Like, yeah, not circumcised, but put it back, it's nothing to do with the foreskin. And then sometimes it just goes in 2 directions. I have no idea why. Sometimes it's just a straight, like, normal one, and then sometimes it just goes like that. Completely avoiding the bowl, straight on the side. What the fuck? And sometimes, like, very occasionally, this is quite embarrassing, but very occasionally, you know how, like, sometimes you can pour, like a glass of water, like, if you pour it slowly, the water sort of goes like that down the bottom. Right? This has happened maybe 3 or 4 times in my life, but like,
Dan, see a doctor, dude. Come on.
No, it's been a weak piss. And sometimes it's just gone like that and gone around and back onto me.
What?
Yeah.
Down your leg?
No, like onto me, like sort of like that.
How is it going
I
upwards?
pissed myself in, like, it's weird. I don't know. Like, it happened like twice ever.
That's twice too many.
I'm sorry.
It's only when he's in the southern hemisphere that happens. So
I think it might be a British thing. I don't know.
There's something I want to point out about Dan. Here's the way I was introduced to Dan by Gavin. Dan was Gavin's friend who pees really hard. That whenever Dan's over and he pees at Gavin's house, Gavin has to turn up the stereo because he's too uncomfortable hearing how hard Dan pees.
Well, I mean, he's trying to erode the back of my toilet. You start it, and then you let the body just leak it out. You don't have to go...
Oh my God, the spray on that was
It's to
incredible.
avoid the forked piss.
And then Dan one time, as a joke, as he always upsets Gavin, he took an iPhone video of himself peeing at a urinal, at a public urinal, and he's laughing, but he just wanted to record the pee stream. But Dan didn't know that underneath the bar with the record button, it still records. So he sent Gavin a dick pic of his...
I have a video on my phone of Dan's helmet forcefully pissing into a urinal.
All right, well, congratulations, Jack Patillo, champion of Gavin Undergo.
I think I know you better now after working with you, like directly with you for the last 4 years.
You know me better.
I think so.
Well, after that conversation.
I understand you a little bit more.
No, he's saying he knows you better than I do, which I take exception to.
Really?
Yeah.
I've known you longer than
I've known
Jack.
Gavin longer, and we both share uncircumcised dicks, so we have a special
You
bond.
have a bond.
Is that a well-known fact that you are, in fact, uncircumcised?
I think so. I talked about the podcast.
In a very much circumcised nation.
Yeah. I'm a rebel. Uncut, untamed.
You're Catholic. What was the Zellner short? Nathan Zellner used to work with us. He's Andy the Bomb. He made a short where it was him and his brother at the end ambushed their parents because one of them was uncut and one was cut.
Yeah, they circumcised the older brother, but then not the younger brother. And they really wanted to know, so they sat down with their parents and interviewed them as to why that was.
I've never seen that.
It's really fucking funny.
It's like the end of a short. It's like this really dramatic short.
It's where
And
like
then there's hard cuts to like now they're in their parents' like house asking them this question. It's
Isn't it
really
like an end of the line kind of plot? Like they're both about to die and they're like covered in blood and stuff. It's like, I just want to talk about something. And then they like have that conversation right before
Yeah,
they
they
die.
play like mariachis in a car wreck or something like that.
Yeah.
So, Nathan actually has a movie right now that just got picked up for distribution.
Yeah, Kumiko Treasure Hunter?
Kumiko the Treasure Hunter. Yeah, it's a really cool story. It's based on an urban legend. Have you guys seen Fargo, the movie? So Fargo, the Coen Brothers movie, they put at the beginning of it, this is based on a true story. The Coen Brothers, that's actually not true. They put that at the beginning of Fargo to make people more invested in the story. There's no law that you have to, like, that has to be a true statement, that where you tell people these are based on actual events.
Like Laser Team. It's based on true story.
Absolutely, why not? Sure, why not? Stranger Things season 2. So there was a woman in Japan who saw Fargo and thought it was a true story, so she got obsessed with the money that gets buried in the snow by Steve Buscemi's character before he gets killed. There's money in the movie that gets lost because the only person who knows where it is gets killed, and he buries it in the middle of like this snow wasteland, no landmarks at all except for this one fence. And this woman in Japan came over to the U.S. to find the money from the documentary Fargo, and she ended up wandering into the Minnesota wastelands and freezing to death and dying. And so Nathan and David made a movie about that character and her obsession with money. And it got just picked up for distribution. It's called Kumiko, and it's going to be out soon. You guys should watch it.
The lead in that movie is the Japanese woman from Pacific Rim.
That is correct.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And she's most of the movie. She's awesome.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it.
It's her and a bunny.
So it's a fiction, or it's a retelling of. So it's not a documentary or anything, but it's.
No, it's like a
So
fictional
it's based on a
telling.
true story.
It's a weird like urban legend based on an urban legend kind of
So
thing.
do they say based on a true story, not based on a true story?
They do. They say that at the beginning of their thing too. There's a lot of like allusions to Fargo. It's really cool. I got to see it when it came by for South by.
Yeah, I think it premiered at Sundance, it played at South by, and it just got picked up for distribution. And I think they're going to do a theatrical release, a limited theatrical release.
Don't know. Yeah, all that stuff gets worked out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool. So if it ever gets nearby you, you should go watch it.
I know it's a movie he'd been wanting to make for a while.
10 years.
Yeah, he'd been talking about it for a long while. Even when we were back at the Congress office, he would talk about it.
Dude, that is the crazy thing about this stuff. Is so, like we didn't want to do that with Laser Team. We were already like 3 years into talking about Laser Team internally, and it's like we just, we can't sit around for 4 or 5 years like waiting to get this movie made. That's just not the way we operate.
I started getting nervous because, we're talking about Laser Team for a minute here. I started getting nervous because we had Laser Team concept art up in the conference room. And I started worrying that we were making videos in RT Life and that they might show up. So if you watch some old RT Life that were filmed at the old studio, you'll see the walls blurred out in the conference room because there's concept art up there.
Yeah, it's true. For that and for Break Room, too. Mm-hmm. I think the only art we would ever show was the old animated RVB stuff. Like, we let that, because people had already seen that before.
Right.
Put that up.
So yeah, if you ever go back and watch an old RT Life and you see us in the conference room at the old studio and you see blurred out stuff on the walls, it was Laser Team concept art or Break Room concept art that was up there. Bit of trivia for you.
Hi, Gus.
What?
Hi, Gavin.
What's up?
Hi, Jack.
Yo.
Listen, I gotta say, I'm so happy with you guys for pulling that joke off on Gavin. I thought somebody for sure
That
was
was
gonna fuck
great.
up. You guys were awesome about that. That's Gavin's nightmare.
All of these guys did a great job. Everyone back there was acting like a lunatic. I was
Right.
about to get in the lift, and all of a sudden, all of the Guardians around me got a text message at once, and everyone was like, "Don't let him in the lift." And I was like, "Oh, Christ, what's going on?" So I had to walk all the way up the stairs for no reason. Why couldn't I take the lift? Because you were telling him?
I don't know. We actually came out here and rehearsed it like
Oh, you
3 or
did?
4 times.
So my sorry ass had to climb all those stairs while you were doing that. That's
Oh, you poor fucking baby. How was you directing 4,000 people? Go fuck yourself. One thing I'd say, one thing we have to bring back for RTX that we didn't do this year that I've always loved a lot are the big shoots that we
Yeah.
do. And we weren't sure how to coordinate something with 30,000 people this year, but you did the big water balloon shoot last year with Freddie Wong.
Yeah, who was there to throw balloons at Dan and I?
Yeah? Wow, everybody returning from RTX, huh?
You guys woke up early for that too, right? Like there was a line at like
Yeah, it was
5
crazy.
a.m. or something.
Quick show of hands. How many of you were here last year? Quick show of hands. Wow, that's a lot of people.
Okay, keep your hands up. How many were here the year before as well? All right, now how many were at the very first RTX? There we go. Seriously?
Wait.
Wow.
So this dude, is one of the guys like raised his hand for the last one. Did you skip a couple years? How did we lose you? Yeah, I'm looking at you, jackass. You did the first one, and then 2 years you quit. That's awesome. I can't believe you guys have come back year after year. That's really
thank
awesome.
you
Having a good
so
time
much.
this year so far? Having? Yeah, they actually, the big shoot that we did 2 years ago was the big coordinated shoot for day 5, where we did that like really choreographed circle around Joel where he's hallucinating, and you know, everyone's alive on the streets, and then as we rotate around him, they're like drop dead on the ground. That scene we don't actually have any sound for in the final shot. We pulled all the sound out, but I would love to release a version of it that actually has the sound in it, because the way we choreographed it was we went around in a circle with the camera around Joel, and then the people, as we rotated, the people behind us all laid flat on the ground like they were dead. And then we had this really cool shot of 8 blocks on Congress, 8 blocks of just people laying dead in the streets. But the weird thing about it is they were all like laying down behind me. So as the camera's rotating around, I'd hear the production assistant saying, all right, section 2, get down. Section 3, get down. The sound of 200 to 400 people falling to the ground haunts me to this day. That is like the grossest, like meat sack, like wet thud. It's just so gross.
It's like wet bread hitting the floor.
There's no
Hey.
need for that.
Can we borrow a page from Penny Arcade? So
Sure,
like,
why
you want to
not?
experience what that's like? Because I know something we can do that's just like it.
What?
Okay, I want to involve you guys again in something. So, on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, go. Everyone's going to crack their knuckles. Ready?
Crack your knuckles.
Trigger warning. It's really gross. Okay, don't do it right now. This is rehearsal. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay? And I'll do the hand motion. You guys are good. You guys know how
1,
to do
2,
this.
3, go.
Yeah.
You're like adding extra time to go.
What?
You're doing 1, 2, 3.
Well, because he
go.
can't
Oh,
say.
you're fucking it up, Jack.
Just go 1, 2, 3, go.
Okay.
That's how you do it.
All right. Here's the way. Jack fucked it up. We're gonna. I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3, and we go like that. Then you guys do it. Okay? Everybody? Rehearsal. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you guys are all doing the thing. That's awesome. Okay. Ready? Here we're doing it for real this time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. So gross. So gross.
It sounds like a skeleton getting run over by a tank.
It's totally like a skeleton getting run over by a
The
tank.
opening shot of Terminator.
Oh my God. Shame on all of you. That was terrible.
We should just do Foley. We should just do that all day. Just have a panel of Foley where we have 4,000 people make noises we need.
It's weird though, like sounds like that. You don't even think of like that making a big, like really audible sound until you get a big group of people doing it. It's so gross.
Have you ever popped your knuckles? Or are you like a knuckle cracker?
I am, yeah.
What, any of you guys?
Yeah.
Did you ever get in trouble when you were younger? Did your parents ever tell you, don't do
Arthritis.
that, gonna get arthritis?
Oh, totally.
It's bullshit, right?
Totally
Oh yeah.
bullshit.
Total bullshit.
Dude, I got kids. I pass along all that stuff.
You tell them the same thing?
Oh yeah, they're bugging the shit out of me and like make up stuff all the time. Yeah.
But you crack your knuckles, why don't you want them cracking theirs? Or,
It's not
or
that.
Just for example.
It's just when they fucking run around the house screaming and shit, you know, and you're like, hey, look, if you guys run around the house and scream, the cops will take you away. I'm really bad at making up stories, so.
Yeah, well, then you make like the cops the bad guys. It's like your kids are gonna grow up with an irrational fear of the police.
They get dead quiet on the cops staring down cops.
Can you
Can't figure out,
pass
like,
on the ones that are just complete bullshit and couldn't be true? Like, if you watch too much TV, your eyes will go square. Did you ever heard that one?
Square?
No.
Was that just me?
What? You believe that?
Even Dan is
shut
asking
the fuck
what?
up. He look at once again he said something dumb. He immediately looked at Dan like, Dan, please, yeah.
Hey, look at Dan's freaking the
All
fuck
right,
out.
Dan doesn't agree with me on this one. You do? Oh, he does. Cheers, Dan.
Oh, the British, Charles agrees with you too.
Yeah, so I was just like, oh, my eyes will go square. And at no point did I think, well, how would that even work? Like, what? They were
Is it
just
your-
like,
Your eyes go cube or
Yeah,
your
yeah.
pupils?
No,
And I guess
they
that was
become two-dimensional.
Like he's flat.
and I guess that would only apply up until widescreen, and then they would have to update it to go rectangle, I guess.
Dude, I had a weird thing that.
That was another one. Wind change direction, you know.
Yeah. So I found when I was looking through a box of stuff the other day, I found like a box of like old like report cards and stuff that my mom had packed up for me, and I found some stuff from college. I found the Ken Griffey baseball Nintendo 64 cartridge that Matt and I would play when we lived together. And I found it, and I thought, oh, this would be really cool. So I thought, I'll get Matt a Nintendo 64 in his office, because Matt is like the weirdest video game player ever. He would play Kangaroo Baseball. He would play it on the easiest setting. He would play, at the time, it was the best team was the Braves versus the Dodgers in the game. He would sit there and just hit home runs, like he's OCD, like for hours. I'd watch him play baseball games. He would win 102-0. And I go, turn up the difficulty. He's like, I got this, dude. He had a ball doing it. And so I got it for his office, but it has the old yellow video plug, and that's it. And it's hard to find a TV that has that these days.
Composite.
Yeah, composite, yeah. And so I got him an old tube TV, and I forgot how, first of all, those things weigh a ton.
Yeah, they're heavy as hell.
And then I forgot, I like turned it on, and all the hair on my arms stood up. Like, I was like 2 feet away from it. I reached over, hit the button, and then I rubbed my hand across the front of it, all that static.
Yeah,
You can like wipe off the invisible static from a TV.
We're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. Because we just would sit there staring into those things for hours at a time while some electron gun fires electrons right at our face. That's it.
Did you have? I don't know if you've gone down by the 343 booth here at RTX. But
Yeah.
They have Halo 2 on the original Xbox set up with old CRT televisions. And before the show opened up, I saw them setting that stuff up, and I said, you know, it's cool that you got this. But I said, but where did you find CRT televisions? They said, yeah, it was actually really difficult to do. And I said, you can't even go to Goodwill. Goodwill doesn't accept CRTs anymore. And they said, yeah, yeah. And they said, yeah, we had to use Craigslist. And they said, and we had to really hunt to try to find CRTs that matched. Because it's easy enough to find one, but then to find a couple that look more or less the same is it's really like a bizarre dead technology now.
I assume if I ever use Craigslist, that I will die from that. Do you agree? I mean, have you ever used Craigslist for anything?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I removed a bunch of wood off I replaced my fence, so I had just like a giant pile of wood in my backyard, and so when I was moving, had to get rid of it, and I was like, I'll just put it in my front driveway and just say free wood, and sure enough, like,
Got wood?
I had like 80 pickets of wood, and I had a little sign that said free on it, and I got home one day and it was all gone. It was
Jack,
awesome.
You went on Craigslist and wrote free wood with your address?
Yep, in the free section.
How are you still here? Free wood. And it's like, the weird thing is like, if they, let's say the sexual references aside, the first person comes, takes away the wood, the pile of wood, then anybody else doesn't know that. They show up, they're like, they don't know where to stop. You got no house.
Yeah, that's some solid paneling on the front of this house. Looks good.
Take it.
So is there anything that wouldn't be taken? Like, could I say free mold?
Sure, why not?
You could have sold all your mold, dude, for free.
Just come pick it up. It's up.
Free
Load up your truck.
Free demolition project.
God, that was so gross. The mold guy pushed on the wall and his fingers went right into it.
Oh, wow.
It was all like soft.
Gross.
Oh, so
You know
bad.
what? It seems like a bad thing, but it's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I fuck those sellers now. That's the problem. I feel bad.
Good thing you said
now
that on camera.
No, well, now they actually have to report it. Like, they have to say, you know, there was mold in the house. So it sucks for those guys. But
I can't believe
I don't have a moldy house.
the inspector didn't pick up on any of the soft walls and mold.
Well, it was loaded with furniture when he came in. So, like, he detected a little bit of moisture, but nothing major. And then we got in there. Thank God it rained that weekend. Otherwise, we wouldn't have seen it. So, thank God.
Right?
Good timing. It never rains now, so
Yeah, it stopped raining. Like, we had a nice run of like the month where it was like raining about 2 or 3 times a week, and now it's back to hot.
It rained
And humid.
Friday, the first day of RTX.
Oh, yeah?
It was kind of stormy.
Oh yeah, on Thursday we were in here, we were doing a technical test for the 343 panel, and they were finishing up, and I was sitting right over here. And I said, what's that noise? Is that rain? And then of course everyone from 343 is from Seattle, like, man, I guess so. And then me and Adam Baird are in here like, whoa, we were like run outside to go look at the rain. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Went to look at rain. It's like, it's raining. So it's just weird how different that is.
The unfortunate thing about that is with my hair is that I've had to wear a hat all weekend because of this rain that's coming in.
Looking
It's
good.
like, yeah.
Well, what's that got to do with rain?
I say, look at like a full-on like afro, like Lyle Lovett hair whenever it rains like
You
that.
got the question right.
Mary Julia Roberts. I tried to get my hair cut on Friday, and I realized that every barbershop in America closes on July 4th. And I've been too busy, so my hair is like crazy long right now and getting in my face.
Here, I'm gonna read this.
Loads of fun.
Stop. Remind everyone, this episode of Rooster Teeth Podcast is brought to you by Audible.com, the internet's leading provider of audiobooks with more than 150,000 downloadable titles across all types of literature and featuring audio versions of many New York Times bestsellers. For our listeners, Audible is offering a free audiobook to give you a chance to try out their service. One audiobook to consider is, this is wrong, Clash of Kings, A Song of Ice and Fire by George R.R. Martin. For a free audiobook of your choice, go to audible.com/roosterteeth. That's audible.com/roosterteeth. So I guess we've got a few Audible listeners out there. It's a great service. Someone sent me a tweet recently talking about how Audible was not a good sponsor for us because they no longer listen to the podcast in the car. They just listen to audiobooks now.
They don't what?
They no longer listen to the podcast in their car. They listen to audiobooks because they got Audible instead.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
No.
What did you do, Joel?
Bye. Joel Heyman, everybody. Joel Heyman.
Jack has been terrified of that moment all weekend.
No, seriously. I haven't retaliated from last year. I honestly haven't had time to retaliate from last year. But yeah, I was waiting for Joel to do something. Apparently, him and Kyle went to our distribution warehouse and actually, the Tower of Pimps, the big Tower of Pimps downstairs, the Achievement Hunter area, was awesome.
Oh, it's Barbara.
It's Barbara.
Did you just stumble? Are you okay? There's no mic on that. How drunk are you right now?
Bye, Barbara. Bye, Barbara. So they went to our warehouse, and the Tower of Pimps was being stored there, and Joel, with tape, like electrical tape, signed his name all over it. And so, covered 4 of the blocks, and his name is covered all over it, and Kyle even signed it too. And so I get this frantic call on Thursday afternoon saying, "Where are you?" And I'm like, "I'm going to my charity event I'm running." And Joel's like, "Can you come back to the convention center?" I'm like, "No, dude, I'm doing this thing." And he's like, "Okay." And so anyway, so Joel's freaking out.
We were, Adam and I were at lunch, and an employee of Amplifier came up to us while we were eating lunch, and he goes, "Hey, are you Joel from Rooster Teeth?" I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh, I'm from Amplifier." And Adam goes, "Hey, isn't the Tower of Pimps being stored at their warehouse?" So we went and broke into Amplifier's warehouse, with 600 square feet of black electrical tape and started covering it 3 hours. And it's 100 degrees, 3 hours. Adam and 4 employees from Amplifier helped me cover it 3 hours. And then we're like, haha, we're going to play a funny joke on Jack, and he's going to pull up to the convention center loading dock, except for Jack fucking left. So then I was standing there on the loading dock with fucking 600 square feet of black electrical tape, and we noticed there was black stuff under the black electrical tape, bonded to the Tower of Pimps, and I was like, oh fuck. This is permanently fucking on the Tower of Pimps. So, that was another 3 hours of scrubbing with goop and fumes to get that all that shit off. So that was 6 hours of manual labor that I put into a joke to play on you that didn't even fucking happen.
Bye, Joel. So there's actually a little more to this story too.
Oh no.
Hey, Joel, if it makes you feel any better, the rest of us found it fucking funny.
There's even more to the story. So on, I don't remember if it was Wednesday or Thursday, we're moving into the convention center. Gilby comes up to me and he goes, "Hey,
He hates being called Gilby, did you know that?
that's why I do it even more.
Okay.
So Gilby comes up to me, Gilby, and says, "Hey, Jack wants a Tower of Pimps here in Achievement Hunter area." I said, "Well, did he order it?" And he goes, "No, he forgot to order it from Amplifier." I go, "Well, it's kind of late. We're running out of time. We really can't get it in here in time." He goes, "Joel and I kind of did something to the Tower of Pimps. If you could find a way to get it here, it would actually be really awesome." I was like, "Okay, Gilby. We'll work on getting the Tower of Pimps from Amplifier over here in time." So if he hadn't vandalized it, I don't know if we would have been able to get it here in time. It was like, at that point, I knew they had done something. I was like, okay, it's a priority. We have to make sure it gets here in time now.
So that night, Joel texted me a photo of it signed, and I was like, Oh, okay, that's funny. And then I get to the hall the next morning, and it's clean. And I'm like, why'd you take it all off? I think it'd be kind of funny to leave it up. And yeah, he's like, oh yeah, no, we spent 4 hours cleaning it off. So I was like, at this point, I don't care anymore.
I like the phrasing of Jack forgot to order it. Like there's a website somewhere where you can add a 5-meter high tower of pimps to the car.
1 life-size tower of pimps, please. Thank
Estimate
you.
delivery
Ship to
RTX.
Convention Center.
Yeah. Also, how do you have 600 square feet of electrical tape?
Because you're Joel Heyman.
Surely you have 600 feet, right?
Yeah. Just have that in your trunk.
Square feet.
Yeah. In a bag with a.
Anyway, so the Tower Pimps is back. Hope you guys took photos of it downstairs. It looks really awesome.
Yeah.
Very proud of it.
So now that we have a big office and a big studio, are we actually going to keep it at the office
We
now?
talked about actually putting it just outside your door in that kind of spot between us and the Ruby animators. So.
I think that would be a great place to put it.
Yeah, yeah.
Between your door and Team Thug's door.
Team what?
Don't call them that.
Oh, okay.
Don't give them that respect.
Oh, sorry.
Wait, what's that name? Thugs.
Team Thugs is what they call themselves, apparently.
I'll let him have it.
Now we got 2 more, though. Did you guys see what happened today?
That was fucking awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So during the Achievement Hunter panel, we got 2 guys, Jeremy and Matt. So it's Jerem0401, I forget his name, whatever, and Axial Matt. So
Very well-known Achievement Hunter community
yeah, they're
members.
community guys. And so we brought him in about a month ago and kind of had him sit in when Michael and Lindsay were out of town, and it worked out really well. And so we gave him a job.
Awesome.
So we brought them up on stage.
2 new Achievement Hunters.
So there's 11 of us now.
No, they're 12.
11.
You don't count Sarah in there as well?
She's not specifically us, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you see the dress that someone made for Lindsay? She was wearing at the party yesterday.
No.
Someone knit. Did you see it?
Yeah,
You
I
must
took,
be- if you're
I
laughing.
took a picture of it.
Someone knitted her a dress. It's all white. Then at the bottom, it's like I said, knitted. At the bottom, it just says "bitches ain't shit" in huge letters.
That's awesome.
It's fucking
And it was
amazing.
knitted, and it was hot, and it was a rooftop party.
But
And
she
she
was-
was absolutely committed to wearing it.
She was like, absolutely. She came up to me. She's like, "Look at this! Look at this!" She was so excited. I think it's so awesome.
That's cool. But yeah, anyway, the Achievement Hunter. So how many people were at the Achievement Hunter panel today? Or yesterday? Yeah, we shot an intro for the Achievement Hunter panel
That thing was awesome.
Yeah, Gavin and I worked on it together. Gavin
Awesome.
shot it, I kind of like put it together, and it turned out really, really good. And we knew it would be something that if we put forth any effort, everyone would be surprised, because we're like, when it comes to live action stuff and actual production stuff, we're kind of the last guys to do that. So
I have a question. With the shoelaces for the shoe, were the laces chalked or something?
no,
they're
they're
like,
just really dirty shoelaces.
you know what I'm saying? Because so much dust and dirt came off of them when the knot got tightened.
Yeah, you'll see extra stuff in slow-mo.
So speaking of shoes, sorry, I'm going to derail a little bit here. Yesterday, when Bernie and I were signing down in the hallway,
Wondering if you're going to talk about this.
Did you sign a car?
We all know Gus has one rule when he's signing stuff.
bring your shoes.
Gus does not sign shoes.
I do
It's the
not
one
sign
thing.
shoes. These couple of teenage girls came up and it's like, there they are.
I thought it was
That
a shout out for teenage girls.
It is literally the first time that's ever happened for Gus, ever. Except one time he walked into the female bathroom, and that sound was made.
They walked up and they're like, "Can you sign our shoe?" And I was like, "Listen, I'm really sorry. It's the one thing I don't sign is shoes." They said, "We knew you were going to say that, so we brought you gloves."
Whoa!
They brought me surgical gloves and another separate Sharpie with which to sign the shoes.
They've got you there. You have to do it.
I had to do it.
Wow! Well done. That's awesome.
So I put the gloves on, used the Sharpie, signed the shoe, still holding the gloves. I threw the Sharpie away and then took the gloves off and immediately threw them away also. I was like,
Wow.
That's the only time it's ever going to work. It's never going to work again. Everyone else is screwed.
Gloves aren't going to work again.
No, because then now everyone's going to bring fucking shoes and gloves. I'm not doing that shit again.
Gavin, Jack, I gotta say, I was a little freaked out. They handed him the gloves. He goes, okay. Then the way they're surgical gloves, or rubber latex gloves, he put them on so quick. He was like that. What do you do at home? What are you doing? You put on those gloves like you do it 10 times a day.
What have you been inseminating?
Hey, I've got gloves. I've got 600 square feet of electrical tape. Don't ask questions. They're all things you can buy just fine, over the counter. But yeah, so I thought that was really a unique way to ask for a signed shoe.
Yeah, what's the deal with shout outs this year?
We don't have them.
No, I'm saying that, but like did you have people trying to do shout-outs?
I noticed I watched the first panel. I didn't get to. I was signing today, so I didn't watch the first one. I noticed you guys had a lot of that in your
We
first
had a lot
panel.
of people come out, like, well, just shout out to my friend Megan back. I was like, what? Like, where did that come from? When did that become a thing?
I think
'cause they're on
I
the
cut
internet.
I cut some people off in our immersion panel.
Well, we did. The first guy tried to do it, and he wanted to do like this girl he watches videos with a lot. So I wanted to shout out to my mom. It's like, are you trying to bang your mom? So that pretty much shut down shout outs from that point.
Nice.
Well, that's one thing is like whenever someone comes up at the convention, like sign something or take a picture, selfie or something. By the way, do you guys agree selfies are way better than like posed photos?
Absolutely.
They're way quicker because they're using their own phone.
Right.
And there's no one else trying to figure out a phone. I will say the amount of people that take a picture of everyone stood in front of them when they mean to take a selfie, that's very high.
It is funny. I've seen a lot of people take
You
pictures of
gotta
other people's
flip to the
crotches.
front camera first.
Yeah, but we were taking photos downstairs, and it was like I noticed that like every time we hand someone a phone, that is like a minute-long process of like someone else trying to figure out like I've never used a phone.
Is this
before.
iOS? Is this Android? You
Yeah.
tap?
Oh, it shut off. Oh, there was one guy.
I felt so bad for him.
I felt kind of bad for him. It's a funny story. Some guy said, I was walking through, I had my kid, I was walking with my kid yesterday through, and he wanted to see the Halo booth. And so we went there and saw it. There were a bunch of people there like, hey, Bernie, can you sign this? Hey, can you do this? I said, sure, and I stopped and everything. And they're like, we've got to get you to your panel. You've got to go, Bernie. And there was one guy like right there, and he's like, can I just take a photo with you? And I'm like, sure, absolutely. And they're like, Bernie, okay, are my guardians. And I'm like, it'll just be 1 second. He goes to take a photo selfie, and he does it, and as soon as he does, it comes up, phone call, mom, answer, decline, and he goes, oh, shit, hey, mom, no, mom, yeah, I'm okay, yeah, I gotta I'm taking I'll call you back, hangs up. We go to take the photo, mom calls back, and he goes, decline, and he goes, sorry about that, goes back to the camera, because here, and I'm like, they're pulling me again, I gotta go, and then he declines it, go, there's the photo, we were like, and he goes, mom calls again, and he goes, Jesus, and the answer goes, mom, no, please, no, God, no, mom, I'm taking a photo, please, I'll just call you back. Hangs up, go to the photo again. He goes, mom, and they pull me, they go, I gotta go. So we never got it. We never took the photo.
Oh, no.
And I heard as he's walking away, I heard this, as we're walking away, I just heard one dude go, God damn it, mom.
Oh my God.
We gotta find that guy and
I
send
would
him.
love to see that guy again. Can I admit something? It's gonna make me sound like a horrible person.
Yeah.
That ship has sailed. I probably could have stayed. I thought it'd be a better story if I left.
That's awful. Wow. You asshole.
It's a better story until you tell that part.
Yeah, now we know the
That
tone
only
of the
makes it
secret.
better.
Now, I gotta say, I have seen a lot of parents here. I mentioned it earlier today. Like how many parents are in the crowd right now?
Dunkelman, we see you.
Like that kicks all kinds of ass. Like I love seeing parents who are with their kids who they may not understand what the hell's going on, but they're still there supporting their kids who are into this kind of stuff. That makes me really, really happy.
Yeah, thank you.
Like
I got
So you have really good parents for the kids who are there.
Yeah, I got an email from a parent whose daughter was coming to RTX with her friends, and who was like super heartfelt, super thankful. Like, you know, I was afraid that my child was going to rebel and do all this stuff, but she found your content, and she's a super fan. And then I actually saw her yesterday. I think it was after the immersion panel. She's like, she kept introducing herself. Like, oh, I know you. Your mom's so and so, right? She was like. She's
Oh,
right
there.
here. She was like, how do you know that? I was like, she emailed me. She told me you were going to be here. He was like, it's good to meet you.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, like when I was growing up, when I was a kid, you know, I was like 5, 6 years old. My dad would bring over a chair so I could reach the arcade controls, and I would play arcade games.
Awesome.
And he would sit there with my mom. Like my mom would go do the shopping, and he'd take care of me. And like, yeah, I love those, and I love hearing stories like that. Like my son watched these things. I don't get it, but I watch with them because it's fun, or so on and so forth. So it's really cool. So thank you very much to all the parents out there.
Yeah, thank you guys.
We had the easily the most adorable moment of RTX was during our signing yesterday when we had the 5-year-old come up
There's a 5-year-old girl. Yeah.
who was like a huge fan and just
Rage
like
quit.
Betty.
she was just like
Yeah, she was a huge Rage
awestruck.
Quit fan.
And she I guess her parents have been talking about how she'd been watching the video since she was 3.
Yeah.
Jesus.
What's her
Which
vocabulary
videos?
like?
And it wasn't like you think like, oh, maybe she doesn't fully understand. Like she knew names and she knew like what she was talking about. It was like it was really, really adorable. I told everyone else in line, it's like, you have no chance. This was the most adorable moment all weekend.
And those lines are so long. I walked up
Yeah.
to her when I saw her on the line. I walked up and I said, hey kiddo, I said, I said, "Are you super bored?" And she goes, "I'm not a boy." That was the most, she was cutest. Her name was Betty, and she was awesome. And yes, we were very nice. As soon as she told us she had been watching the video since she was 3 years old, we immediately turned to her father and said, "Wow, you're a terrible parent."
It is a really, really top weekend though. Like the fact that we can, the four of us, just sit up here and have a normal conversation, even though there's all of these people here. I feel like totally at home right now, just having a chat. It's awesome.
It seems pretty similar to like a normal podcast.
Yeah.
This is something you requested, the couch and the chairs.
I'm not a fan of like all in a line table thing.
I forgot to get this.
Oh, you did? Really?
I went up to Freeman about an hour and a half ago, and I was like, or an hour and a half before the panel, I was like, hey, I kind of fucked up. I need a couch and a couple of chairs for the podcast panel. I'm like, oh yeah, no problem. I was like, how do you want them situated? I described it like, yeah, we'll have it. There's no problem. So we walked out here, and I kind of expected that we might still have a table or something. They totally nailed it.
Awesome. You guys?
I do want to point out that we actually have the podcast set like 100 yards that way.
Do you want to get the podcast set 4 floors up from down there to up here?
Why don't we just do it from there?
Shut up. The amount of seating might be a little rough down there.
Yeah, we have the warthog down there right in front of the...
I haven't
Do you want to
seen
tell
it
that story? Or cool.
What's the story with it?
That we just got it.
Hey guys, we got a warthog. End of story.
No, we've had it for like months though, right? But we finally got it here.
It is true. That's why it's a right-hand drive car, is because it came from the UK.
Well, it should be.
And I think, what's that?
Nothing?
It actually was harder to get here than Gavin was.
More paperwork.
It arrived when?
It got here almost midnight Thursday night, so like 11:45 p.m. Thursday evening.
After 3 or 4 months of work. 7 months of work of trying to get here. It got here with 5 hours to spare, basically.
That's so.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah, we had people waiting on the dock in the middle of the night to receive this thing and get it situated onto the floor.
So are people sitting in it and taking pictures and stuff? Is that what it's
Yeah.
done?
Yep.
Sweet.
I
I'm
made
gonna
a
go
lot
do
of
that.
great photos.
It's drivable, right? Like it's a legit car?
No.
Oh, it's not.
Sorry, we're boring you back there. It's the loudest yawn in the world. Yeah, it's drivable, but it's not street legal in the U.S.
Okay.
And we have the guy who created it here for RTX. He's out here.
The street legal thing was a major issue. That was a big deal. Because it could be driven, but it's not street legal, that meant that it was a whole nightmare.
So do we have to tow it around and stuff? We can't
Yes.
turn it on?
So we have an employee named Mike who this has been months of his life. I don't know if he's out there, but thank you, Mike, if you are out there. He's not. It was months of phone calls and paperwork and back and forth with U.S. Customs to get it in here. And so thanks, Mike. Just want to say that.
You're nice.
You're giving me the suspicious look like I'm going to say
I have
something
a
bad.
funny image in my head of Michael from Achievement Hunter being the guy who like processes paperwork.
He would've- yeah.
back in the day, we had a lot of slash job titles where we did everything. Like Gus, you run RTX, you run the podcast, but a lot of us like kind of came up where we all had a production job and we had a business job as well in the early years of the company. And look how miserable you are sitting there thinking about
it, man. Awful.
I just like the idea of Rage Quit Michael sitting there stamping. She's like, God damn it, pay your fucking bills.
Someone wanted an autograph this morning, and they handed me a sketchbook, and they had penciled in a passport, like for Papers, Please. And they gave me a red and a green marker, and they said, you can either accept or deny my passport. So I looked at it, and the expiration date was wrong.
You denied him, didn't you?
I circled it and said, denied.
Well, at least you circled it, because you don't have to give a reason for denial, right, in the game?
Depends. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't.
I guess I never made it that far.
Yeah, it depends on how far you're in the game.
So
That's
see, if
the
that
most
had been
creative one I've
me,
seen.
to make it a better story, I would have had the guy removed from the convention center.
Just send him to the police department.
You have to leave now.
No, it's about time to wrap up.
You know what? I was going to say, like, what exclusive stuff have you seen at RTX that is really, really badass?
I felt very honored. Before the show opened on Friday, I got to sit with the Insomniac guys and play Sunset Overdrive.
Badass
nice.
game. They came at the very last minute.
Yeah, super appreciative of them coming out. The game's fucking awesome. Those guys are really cool too. I got to play, I feel really lucky. I got to play Destiny. I got to chat with the 343 people about Halo Master Chief Collection.
They just revealed that Coagulation Blood Gulch is going to be in the Halo 2 remaster. That was fucking awesome.
So excited.
They also unveiled the Gun Goose.
Yeah, Gavin and I back-to-back did 2 center stage things yesterday, where first we played Age of Booty, which they actually have Gavin in Age of Booty, the free iOS game.
I'm
Maybe
like
you guys hear
I'm
it
the
often.
captain of a bunch of ships.
And
Gus
yeah,
coming
Gus
soon.
is coming soon. I think there's going to be Bernie. I'm going to be in there. I think Barbara's in
We
there.
have the best name.
Yeah. So it's awesome. So it's all being released. And then we got to play Trials Fusion, the new DLC that's not out yet. And there's a red versus blue map in Trials Fusion.
That's awesome.
So that's pretty kick-ass.
The creative director for Red Links,
Yeah.
Auntie, has the coolest business card ever.
Yeah.
I have one
It's
in my
a
pocket.
coin
Yeah, it's a coin.
with the Red Links logo in the middle and then his email address and name like all around the outside.
Yeah.
It's a fuck. I didn't want to give him my card after that.
And it's a brilliant idea because if someone goes to hand you a coin, you always take it. You're like,
Absolutely.
it's money. I'll take this.
So anyway, there's been some amazing stuff, and it's been a lot of fun. RTX has been
It's
really,
like
really
it's
good
the
this year.
most surreal weekend of my life ever, probably.
It is really awesome.
Yeah.
It is really awesome.
Well, thanks everyone for coming out. Thanks
where
for
are we
coming to
gonna go
RTX. What's that?
Where are we going to go eat?
There's a great hamburger place across the street.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you,
All right,
everybody.
thanks, everyone.
Thank you for coming out. Thank you.